días, Kestrels. Let's going to start with our first unit of maths as soon as we have come back on term 4, and we are going to be looking at fractions, percentages and decimals. So we did the last week, before we went to half term, we did some work on fractions to try to recover it, didn't we? So we are going to just start today, and we are going to be looking at how to compare them. Okay, so I have two fractions. Fractions, remember that it comes from fract, like break, split, fract into equal parts. And then I have, let's going to call it a pizza. You know I love pizza. I have one pizza cut in 4 equal parts. So I put my denominator, remember that I use the D for denominator down to remember it. So I have 4 equal parts, and I have taken 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 3 quarters. On my next pizza, I have again, I've split my pizza into 4 equal parts, and I have taken 1 and 2. So my numerator, my top number, is how much I've been taking, what is shaded, and the bottom is how many equal parts, all right? So I have 3 quarters, 2 quarters. If I want to see which one is bigger, which one is smaller, well, it's quite easy, because then you can see it here on my diagram, and you can see straight away that I've taken 3, and that is more than taking only 2. You can see that it's been taking more than in the other one, yeah? And also you can see that because I have the same denominator, you only need to look at your numerator, and you know that 3 is greater than 2, isn't it? So really simple. But then what happens when my denominator is different? And that is what we are going to be looking at today. So first of all, if you please get a pencil, let's going to just try to compare these fractions and see how we are doing, and see if you remember it. My first one is going to be, get ready, 7/8 and 5/8. Can you try to see which one is greater than or smaller than? My next one, 3/7 and 2/7. My next one, 4/5 and 1/5. And this is what we are going to be doing today. Be careful with this one. What about if I have 2 quarters and 1/2? Okay? Pause the video and then play it again as soon as you're ready to correct it. Right, I have 7/8, 5/8, and then I saw straight away I have same denominator, so I need to look at my numerator. Miss Lopez, your words today aren't coming out. 7 and 5, what is greater? Well, I know that 7 is greater than 5. Let's going to go to my next one, 3/7, 2/7, 7, the same, 3, 2, I know that 3 is greater than 2. 4/5 and 1/5, 4, 1, again, I know that 4 is bigger than 1, and my last one, which is not the same, if I have, let me show you on a diagram, maybe some of you remember from last week, not on half term, I don't think you've been doing it in half term, from the last week that we were doing in term 3, if you have your first pizza cut into 4 equal parts and you are taking 2, and then you have another pizza cut into 2 equal parts and you're taking only 1 this time, maybe you knew straight away when we were doing equivalent fractions that 2 quarters is the same as 1/2. Well done. So sometimes we can have fractions that are the same and they are equivalent, they have the same value. So you can see that it doesn't matter that I just got, because you can think, well, I know that 2 is bigger than 1, so 2 quarters is going to be bigger. But is it? It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter just the size of the numerator, because look, it's been cut into a bigger slice. So you basically, can you see it? How 1/2 is the same as if I cut it into quarters and I just take 2 quarters instead of 1, yeah? So that is what we are going to be doing today. So just bear with me, and let's going to start with our lesson, where we are going to try to compare fractions with the denominators are different, but they need to be, you need to find the multiples to try to compare them, okay? So let's going to try to do the first one, 2/3 and 3/6. So you can see that and say, well, I know that 3 is bigger than 2. So I think that 2/3 is smaller than 3/6. But is it really? Well, you cannot do it. You cannot do it yet because what you need to do is try to have the same denominator before you compare them. So let's going to see my 2/3. Your trick, what you need to do is just look at your denominator and find your smaller. I'm going to be looking at 3. Can I have 6 on my 3 timetable? Is there any way where I have 6 on my 3 timetable? Is it 6 a multiple of 3? It is, yeah. And how did you get it? By timing it by 2. Well done. So 3 times 2 is 6. Now I have the same denominator. But then, do I just leave it like that? No, because the same side to the bottom, I need to do to the top. 2 times 2 is, well done, 4. Now I've got 2 fractions with the same denominator, 4/6 and 3/6. Now I'm going to compare them. I have the same denominator, 4 and 3. What is greater? It is 4 is greater, so that means that 2/3 is greater than 3/6. Can you see it? So it's not straight away just looking at your numerator and say, well, actually, this one is bigger, because you need to make sure that you have your same denominator. All right? Easy? Are you ready to do some with me? Before I send you to do your work? Okay, right. Let's going to just go for these ones. See if we can do this together. I'm going to do 4/18 and I'm going to do 2/6. And let's going to do it together then. What I did said, if I have got a different denominator, I need to make it the same before comparing it. So I have 18 and 6. I'm going to look at my smallest. 6. Is 18 on my 6 timetable? It is. Well done. I times 6 times 3 and I make 18. And I time it by 3, didn't I? So I need to do the same to my top. 2 times 3 is 6. So look at that. I have 4/18 and 6/18. What is greater? 2/6 is greater than 4/18. Easy? Yeah? Are you ready to just do a few of them? Okay. Can you just try to do 4/5 and 7/10? Compare them, and 6/12 and 2/6, and the last one 1/3 and 5/9. Okay, pause your video now, try to work it out and then play it again once that you're ready. Make sure that you look at your denominators, you make it the same, and you look at your smaller number, okay? Right. So hopefully you have worked them out and you found it really, really easy, because it is simple, isn't it? So I have 5 and 10. I'm going to be looking at my smaller 5 and I'm going to make it multiple of 10. Yeah, 5 times 2. So then I will have 5 times 2 is 10, and then 4 times 2, because I need to do the same, 8. So then I have 8 tens and 7 tens. That's right, 4/5 is greater than 7 tenths. Let's going to go for my second one. 12 and 6. I'm going to be looking at my 6. Can I make 12 out of my 6? I can if I time it by 2, can I? 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 2 is 4. Now what you've got in there is 6/12 and 4/12. Well, 6/12 is greater than 2/6. And let's go into the last one. You have 1/3 and 5/9. 3, 9. I'm going to be looking at my 3 and I'm going to make it a 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. So you have 5 and 3. What is greater? The 5. So then you know that 1/3 is smaller than 5/9. Really simple, isn't it? So have a go at your exercises. If you have struggled, you haven't got the same answer, just pause the video, go back and try to do it again, see where you got the mistake, play it again, and if you still struggle, just drop me a message, alright? Good luck, adios!